Okay, you can begin.
Good morning, class. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 13 of the Leadership DAFT textbook. This chapter is on vision and strategic direction. The key objectives we'll be looking at as follows. We'll be doing an overview of the leader's role in creating the organization's future, examining what vision is, the underlying themes that are common to effective visions, and how the visions works on multiple levels. We'll be explaining the distinction between vision and the organization's mission. We'll be discussing how leaders formulate vision and strategy and the leader's contribution to achieving the vision. Lastly, we'll be discussing the impact this leadership has on organizations. So, to begin, when President John F. Kennedy gave NASA the ambitious and unambiguous mission of landing a man on the moon by the end of the decade, Burt Rutan was just a teenager, and he was a soon to be aerospace engineer and entrepreneur. He witnessed this realization of that vision in July 1969, along with millions of people worldwide. This was creating a vision. Nearly 40 years later, Rutan has his own ambitious vision, which was to make human spaceflight as routine as aeroplane travel. Burt Rutan has pulled off extraordinary accomplishments by sharing conventional wisdom about aerodynamics and inspiring people to do things differently. In the 1980s, his company Scaled Composites gained international acclaim for Voyager, this twin-engine propeller plane that completed his vision for the first non-stop flight around the world without refueling. So one of the most important functions of a leader is to articulate and communicate a compelling vision that will motivate and energize the people toward a future. A good leader, or you could say a successful leader, would be looking forward. They would be setting that course toward the future and getting everyone on the same page and moving in the same direction. So, Lorraine Monroe was a former principal of the renowned Frederick Douglass Academy in Harlem and founder of the Lorraine Monroe Leadership Institute. One of her quotes was, "When people see that you love your work, they want to catch your energy." And something she also said was, "People naturally gravitate towards leaders who have a vision." This is the book that she wrote in 1999. It's on leadership lessons in and outside the classroom. A prime real-life example of this quote and a leadership lesson outside the classroom is Steve Jobs and his legendary tenure at Apple. His passion for creating innovative, high-quality products was infectious and drove his employees to achieve what once seemed impossible. Jobs' passion and the clarity of his vision were powerful magnets for talented engineers, designers, and even creative minds who wanted to be part of something revolutionary. They were drawn not just to Apple, but to the mission that Jobs envisioned. With this vision, he built a global community. His energy extended far beyond the walls of Apple's campus. His keynote speeches were charismatic performances that transmitted his passion to consumers, developers, and the tech community. This helped turn Apple's products into a global cultural phenomenon and build an army of brand loyalists. Follow motivation and energy are crucial to the success of any endeavor. The role of leadership is to focus everyone's energy on the same path. And now I'll give you guys an example of something that I experienced. I had a math lecturer right here at Costard. I'm not sure if anyone else did contemporary college math with Mr. Alton Felix. Um, so when I did this course at the very beginning of the semester, Mr. Felix said to us, failure is not an option. Whether you're good or bad at math in this class you will not fail. He kept reminding us of this saying, putting us on a path to success. He wanted everyone to pass his class. And for me, I wasn't particularly great at math all through secondary school. I did well in exams, but sometimes I could not believe that I passed those exams. And this reassurance from Mr. Felix, every class and every session we had was inspiring for me because it brought me success on every exam throughout the course, and I ended up passing. Strategic leadership. Top leaders are responsible for knowing the organization's environment, considering what it might be like in 5 or 10 years, and setting a direction for the future that everyone can believe in. This is strategic leadership. It is basically the ability to anticipate and envision the future, to maintain flexibility, think strategically, and initiate changes that will create a competitive advantage for the organization in the future. A leader may become overwhelmed by the intricacy of the surroundings and the unpredictability of the future. And as a result, many people are more likely to concentrate on internal organizational problems rather than on strategic initiatives. For leaders, dealing with routine operational issues where they can observe immediate results and feel in control is more convenient and reassuring. Furthermore, a lot of today's leaders are overloaded with information and technicalities. Finding the quiet time required for big picture thinking might be challenging for them. A study outlined in the textbook was when they looked at the time executives in various departments spend on long-term strategic activities and they found discouraging results. In the companies studied, 84% of finance executive time, 70% of information technology executives' time, and 76% of operational managers' time is focused on routine day-to-day activities. Another study found that on average, senior executives spend less than 3% of their energy on building a corporate perspective for the future. And in some companies, the average is less than 1%. Yet no organization can thrive for the long term without a clear viewpoint and framework for the future. Let's look at this diagram. Exhibit 13.1 illustrates the levels that make up the domain of strategic leadership. Strategic leadership is responsible for the relationship of the external environment to choices about vision, mission, strategy, and their implementation. At the top of the diagram is a clear, compelling vision of where the organization wants to be in 5 to 10 years. The vision aligns with the company's mission, which is its guiding principles, purpose, and reason for being, and it reflects the surrounding environment. Strategy serves as the foundation for the creation of particular mechanisms that assist the organization in achieving its objectives, and it gives guidance for putting the vision into practice. While strategies are intentions, the fundamental organizational architecture, which are the structure and incentives, is what actually makes things happen during implementation. We've talked a lot about vision so far. Can anyone give me a definition or a personal opinion on what you think a vision is?
Would it be like a set objective or like something that you would like to work towards?
Yes, that's there. Anybody else? No? Okay. So a vision is an ambitious view of the future that everyone can be involved in. So Elijah, you were spot on. Um, one A vision is one that can realistically be achieved, yet one that offers a future that is better in important ways than what now exists. Similarly, for organizations, a vision is an attractive, ideal future that is credible yet not readily attainable. Quality has been a hallmark of Japanese businesses ever since. But in the 1950s, Sony Corporation wanted to become the company most known for changing the worldwide poor quality image of Japanese products. So this was an extremely lofty objective that stoked people's imaginations and sense of patriotism. Can any of you name some Japanese companies whose products are of high quality or that you may be loyal to? These are some here. Or
Samsung is a
some
Japanese
of you
company.
may drive Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans. Anyone?
Would Samsung be one of those?
Samsung, yeah, me too. Anyone else? Recognize any of these brands?
Yeah, Sunny, Bridgestone is tires, I believe. Uniqlo
Yeah,
is clothes. Seven
yeah,
Eleven is like a gas
Convenience
station
store.
base.
yeah. I'm sure some of you may notice that a lot of influencers go to their stores and try their stuff sometimes. And then Nissin is a manufacturing company that I think they do top ramen. I'm sure some of you have eaten top ramen or cup noodles. Um, you said Uniqlo. Personally, my family are like loyal. I would say loyal to Nissan. Everyone has a Nissan vehicle, so I'm sure some of you know. All of you maybe know some of these brands. Moving on, Exhibit 13.2 lists a few more brief vision statements that let people know where the organization wants to go in the future. Um, have a look at these and let me know if any of you are familiar with these vision statements. Anyone? Nobody familiar with these?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure some of you are familiar with the brand Motorola and then BP, Beyond Petroleum. I'm particularly familiar with them because I've seen watching the Olympics or the Paralympics, you could see that BP is a sponsor of most of the events. Um, so sometimes visions are brief, not like some that we'll be discussing further on. They sometimes are compelling and slogan-like and are easily communicated to and understood by everyone in the organization. So not all successful organizations have such a short, easily communicated slogan, but their visions are powerful because leaders paint a compelling picture of where the organization wants to go. So everyone knows Martin Luther King Jr. The vision articulated by him in his I Have a Dream speech serves as an excellent illustration of how leaders convey their vision through words. King expressed the hope and belief that his vision of racial harmony, one in which there would be no discrimination, would one day come to materialize. Strong visions are linked to better performance in organizations. When people see a positive image of the future, they are motivated to help achieve that vision. Transformational leaders create optimistic visions and express confidence that a better future is possible. For example, the Greater Chicago Food Depository aims to change the merely aims to change from merely feeding the hungry to ending hunger entirely. This organization runs a program called the Culinary Boot Camp. It is a 12-week training for low-income workers. It teaches cooking skills and life skills like teamwork and responsibility, aiming to help participants find good jobs. This program started in 1998 based on an idea from a DC soup kitchen led by Michael Mulqueen, who was a former Marine Corps general. His vision included moving people out of poverty and not just feeding them. Participants in this program prepared 1,500 meals daily for after-school programs, offering children alternatives to gangs and drugs. Approximately 200 graduates found jobs, with 64% staying employed for over a year, which is significant in a high turnover field. So you see, a strong vision is crucial for nonprofits like the Greater Chicago Food Depository, as it energizes employees in a way that just providing food cannot. Ultimately, leadership is required to guide the organization towards a visionary future rather than settling for the current state. And this is what a vision does. Vision links the present to the future. What is happening now and what the organization wants to achieve are connected by its vision, like the example I gave before. Though it starts in the present, a vision is always about the future. Consider the Microsoft advertising slogan. Your potential inspires us to produce products that help you reach it. In addition to developing software products that assist in meeting present needs, Microsoft employees also work to imagine and develop products that could inspire future, more expansive applications. Vision energizes people and garners commitment. People want to be excited about what they do. Many people willingly devote their time and energy to causes they support, such as environmental causes, community events, or political campaigns. I'm sure some of you have participated in a beach cleanup at least once in your life. When these same people go to work, they frequently leave their enthusiasm and energy at home because they lack anything to motivate them. And this goes back to Lorraine Monroe's quote about people wanting to catch your energy when they see that you love what you do. People are willing, even eager, to dedicate themselves to something genuinely valuable, something that enhances their communities or the lives of others. So vision must go beyond the bottom line. Consider Henry Ford's original vision for Ford Motor Company. Henry Ford's original vision read, I will build a motor car for the great multitude. It will be so low in price that no man making a good salary will be unable to own one and enjoy with his family the blessings of hours of pleasure in God's open spaces. When I am through, everyone will be able to afford one and everyone will have one. The horse will have disappeared from our highways, the automobile will be taken for granted, and we will give many people employment at good wages. So everyone, all the employees were motivated by Ford's vision because they saw an opportunity to not only make life better for others, but for themselves too. Vision gives meaning to work. During a job interview, have you ever asked what the company's vision is? Anyone?
Yes, I have.
All right. Anybody else? I have one. Or has anybody researched the company before they went into the interview so that they know what this company's vision might be and how it may align with yourself and your expectations? All right. Um, if nobody else has done it, I urge you to try it, and you would understand the feeling of wanting to work with these people because you feel like you fit in there. So that's what I meant by researching the company before the interview. You might feel like this is the path that you want to take when you read the vision. It might inspire you, because this is something that you're excited about. So you want to work with these people, and it's something that energizes you. It's not that you have to, or because you need the money, you want this job. So you ask them what their vision is, or you research it, so that you can feel like you see yourself being happy and fulfilled by what your job may be if you get the job. So vision establishes a standard of excellence and integrity. People are challenged by vision, which asks them to go where they have never been. As a result, it pushes employees to experiment and think outside the box. Three qualities of vision can inspire clarity, commitment, and imagination. Vision clarifies and connects to the core values and ideals of the organization and thus sets a standard of integrity for employees. A good vision brings out the best in people by illuminating important values, speaking to people's hearts, and letting them be a part of something bigger than themselves. Consider how Walt Disney painted a picture of Disneyland that unified and energized employees. I'll read some excerpts from his original vision. The idea of Disneyland is a simple one. It will be a place for people to find happiness and knowledge. Here, the older generation can recapture the nostalgia of days gone by, and the younger generation can savor the challenge of the future. So, you see, people can be profoundly impacted by a clear, inspirational image like the one Walt Disney painted. His vision gave the work of the employees purpose and worth. Although it is not always the leader's sole responsibility, leaders have a big responsibility to paint a clear picture of the future. A vision can be widely shared and is frequently developed with others' help in order to make an impact. And you will find that a shared vision is the foundation of any successful organization. I will now pass it on to my team member, Faith Ramrochan, to continue this presentation.
Common themes of vision. There are 5 common themes to powerful and effective vision. It has have broad and widely shared appeal. It helps organizations deal with changes. It encourages faith and hope for the future. It reflects on high ideals and they define both the organization's destination and the basic rules to get there. Next slide, please. Vision has broad appeal. Visions can be achieved through people, but many visions fail to include employees. Many leaders that isolate their grand ideas, forgetting that achieving their visions requires understanding and commitment throughout the organization. But other employees might find this idea ridiculous. To develop a shared vision, leaders share their personal visions with others, encouraging them to express their dreams for the future, becoming a common thread connecting people, involving them personally and emotionally, which requires openness. Openness is willing to give everyone a chance to speak and express their ideas or vision. Having good listening skills. Efficiently listening to colleagues or employees when they are speaking on their visions or ideas and not simply shutting them down because you do not agree with what they are speaking of. And the courage to connect with people on an emotional level. Having the courage to share your own vision with your colleagues or employees, connecting with them emotionally because there might be a chance someone shares the same vision as you. Next slide, please. For example, Stanford Ovinsky's idea of inexpensive films for solar power was ridiculous. If he had not been able to involve investors, managers, or other employees in the vision, it would not have become a reality. The vision is not only the leaders but also identified with the organization as a whole, not a single lead or top leadership team. It motivates people to work harder towards a common end goal, allowing each individual to act independently but in the same direction. And if he had not pursued this vision that he had, solar panels would not have existed today and would not be as one of the largest renewable sources of energy, surpassing both wind and hydropower, which is currently the largest renewable source by far. Next slide, please. Next slide. After the Hello? Yeah, me? Next slide, please. Vision encourages faith and hope. The future is shaped by those who believe in it and have powerful vision. Visions only exist in the imagination, and it is a picture of a world that cannot be observed or verified in advance. It has an emotional appeal to our fundamental human needs and desires to feel important and useful, believing we can make a real difference in the world. A powerful vision and clearly thought out vision helps people believe in a future they cannot. Next slide, please. Vision reflects high ideals. Visions that portray an uplifting future has the power to inspire and energize people. Recalling back to our opening example when President John F. Kennedy announced the man on the moon vision. NASA had only a small amount of the knowledge necessary to accomplish this feat. William F. Powers, who worked at NASA during the 1960s, later helped Ford Motor Company develop an idealistic vision for the world's first high-volume aerodynamically styled car featuring the fuel economy, the 1980s Taurus. This was a big risk for Ford at the time. The company was down and out, but leaders portrayed this as a chance not only to save the company but establish a whole new path in automotive engineering, which tapped into the employee's imagination and idealism. Next slide, please. If he had not If he had not had this idealistic vision for the world's first high-volume aerodynamically styled car, we may not have the many varieties of sports cars and luxury cars that we do today. Next slide, please. Vision defines the destination and the journey. A good vision for the future includes specific outcomes that the organization wants to achieve, incorporating underlying values that helps the organization get there. For example, schools might specify certain outcomes such as the top 20 ranking placing 90 and putting 90% of their students in summer internships and getting 80% of the students into jobs by June of their graduating year. Additionally, the school wants to increase the students' knowledge of business, values, and teamwork, as well as prepare for lifelong learning. Next slide, please. Vision works at multiple levels. The visions discussed thus far have talked about companies as a whole. However, divisions, departments, and individuals also have visions which are just as important and powerful. Having a clear mental sense of your future and how you want to achieve it tend to be more successful than those who do not have a clear vision or steps to help achieve it. For example, Three young Pepperdine University graduates started an organization to help young people find and pursue their personal vision, interviewing successful leaders, asking questions such as, when you were our age, what were you thinking? And how did you get to where you are? The answer all boiled down to this simple message: block out the noise and really pave your own road, guided by what lifts you up. Next slide, please. Organizational, organizational vision grows and changes. Top leaders within an organization develop visions for the organization as a whole, and at the same time, a project team leader can develop a vision with the team members for a new product they've been working on. They can all use visions with the same positive result. Slide, please. Mission and what it does. The company's mission and vision are not the same thing, although they work together. The mission is the organization's core broad purpose and reason for being, providing a basis to create the vision as an ambitious desire for the future. Whereas vision continues to grow and change the mission persists in the face of changing technologies, economic conditions, or other environmental skills. It serves as the glue that holds the organization together in times of change and guides strategic choices and decisions about the future, defining the enduring character, spiritual DNA of the organization, and can be used as a leadership tool to help employees find meaning to their work. Next slide, please. Recalling the discussion of intrinsic rewards from Chapter 8. When people connect their jobs to a higher purpose, to work itself becomes a great motivator. The Gallup Q12 study discussed in Chapter 8 also has shown that when employees believe in their company mission, their job makes their job important. Typically, they are more encouraged and have a greater sense of pride, loyalty, and are more productive. Exhibit 13.4 compares the Gallup result for those who agree that the mission makes their job important and to those who do not feel the mission of the company makes their job important. The difference is quite striking. Next slide, please. As you can see on an example, for the correspondents who agree that the mission makes their job feel important, reported reported me reported feeling encouraged with their work shows 60%, whereas none of the respondents who disagreed felt engaged with their work. 66% would recommend their company's products and services compared to the 20% who did not believe the mission made their job important. Next slide, please. Exhibit 13.5 shows the vision, mission, and core value of DuPont Canada. The mission also includes the company's core purpose. The core values and core purpose are frequently expressed in mission statements. DuPont Canada mission statement is sustainable growth, increasing shareholder and social value while reducing our environmental footprint. Their vision statement says their vision is to be the world's most dynamic science company, creating sustainable solutions essentials to a better, safer, healthier life for people everywhere. We will be a pace setter in improving every aspect of our operations and a total commitment to meeting the needs of our customers in Canada and abroad with continuously improving high value offerings. And their core values are safety, concern, and care for people, protection of the environment, and personal and corporate integrity. are this company's highest values and they will not compromise them. Next slide, please. A framework for a noble purpose. A framework for a noble purpose is an effective mission statement capturing people's idealistic motivations for why organizations exist, not just describing their products or services. Successful companies or services. Successful companies have missions that proclaim noble purpose of some type, such as Motorola's applying technology to benefit the public. Motorola strives to provide people with more access to the intuitive mobile products and services needed to make everyday life easier, more uplifting, and enjoyable for all. Existing to design, create, and deliver purposeful innovation to people across the globe. So they transform the way they discover, share, and connect with the world around them since 1990. Leaders are responsible for framing noble purposes that inspire and lead followers to high performance and help organizations maintain a competitive advantage. Next slide, please. Exhibit 13.6 describes the four basic approaches leaders take in framing an organizational purpose that helps people feel that their work is worthwhile. Each of these approaches is described in more details below. Discovery, excellence, and altruism and heroism. Next slide, please. Discovery. Many people are inspired by the opportunity to find or create something. Discovery can serve as a noble purpose as it does for employees at 3M, where they let their researchers explore ideas and work on their own projects. Another example is Google, where people are energized by psychic rewards they get from working on intellectually stimulating and challenging technical problems. Excellence. Excellence is defined by the work itself rather than by a customer organization that pursues excellence would rather turn down customers than compromise their quality with this approach. Leaders can focus on being the best on both an individual and organizational level. Next slide, please. Altruism and heroism. Altruism. Many nonprofit organizations are based on a noble purpose of altruism, but businesses can use this approach as well, recalling the example of employees at Service Master from Chapter 6. One of Service Master's core values is to treat employees with respect and help low-skilled manual workers to see the worth and dignity of their service to society. Heroism. The final category. Heroism means the company's purpose is based on being strong, aggressive, and effective. Companies with this basis of noble purpose reflecting on obsession with winning, for example. CEO Jack Welch wanted the company to strive to be number one or two in each industry, which it did. Business, which it did business. Companies that have remained successful over the long term have top executives who lead with noble purpose and well-chosen purpose. And well-chosen purposes taps into the emotions and instincts of employees, contributing to better innovativeness and higher employee and organizational performance. Next slide. Strategy and action and deciding where to go. Strategic action is the set of decision and action used to formulate and implement specific strategies that will achieve organizational goals. It is the leader's job to find this fit and translate it into action. Missions reflecting a noble purpose and guiding visions are both important, but they are not enough alone to make strong, powerful organizations for them to succeed and translate visions Values and purpose into action. Deciding where to go strategy can be defined as the general plan of action that describes resources allocation and other activities for handling the environment and helping the organization attain its goals. Leaders formulate a strategy by asking questions such as where the organization is now, where does the organization want to be, and what changes and trends are occurring in the competitive environment. What course of action can help achieve our vision? Next slide, please. Developing an effective strategy. Developing an effective strategy requires actively listening to people both inside and outside the organization, examining trends and discontinuity in the environment to use rather than reacting to environmental changes. Strategic leaders study in events that have already occurred based on their anticipation of what the future might be like. Next slide, please. Innovative thinking. Innovative thinking carries a lot of risks. Leaders sometimes have to shift their strategy several times before they can get it right. In addition, strategy necessarily changes over time to fit shifting environmental conditions, developing strategies that focus on three qualities. Core competence, developing synergy, and creating value care for customers. Next slide, please. Synergy. Synergy is the interaction of organizational parts to produce a joint effect that is greater than the sum of the parts. As a result, the organization may attain a special advantage with respect to cost, market power, technology, or employee skills. Core competence. Core competence is something that the organization does extremely well in comparison to competitors. Leaders identify the organization's unique strengths and what makes the organization different from others in the industry. Value. Value is the combination of benefits received and costs paid by the customer. Focusing on core competencies and attaining synergy helps companies create value for their customers. Next slide, please. Strategy formulation. Strategy formulation integrates knowledge of the environment, vision, and mission with companies' core competence in such a way as to achieve synergy and create value for customers. When these elements are brought together, the company has an excellent chance to succeed in a competitive environment, but leaders have to ensure strategies are implemented and the behavior within the organization reflects the desired direction. And now I will pass the floor to my colleague.
Yeah, next slide. Yeah, next slide. Okay. The Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane turned a bunch of undervalued baseball players into one of the major league's most successful franchises by using vision-based leadership. He did so by having a different vision than the rest of the pack. Beane's unique vision and strategy built one of the Major League Baseball's most successful teams with one of its smallest budgets. Unlike more historically successful teams like the Yankees, which can afford to lavish millions on high-profile free agents, Beane looks for the hidden talents among unwanted or unknown players. Next slide. Yes, this is a photo of Billy Beane with his very popular, well, became popular due to his leadership team, the Oakland A's. Next slide. Beane's skill at finding baseball's hidden gems comes partly from his own rocky experiences as a big league outfielder, where he learned that there's more to being a good player than raw talent. The other part is his unique vision and strategy for fielding a ball team. Here are some of Beane's unique guiding principles. Next slide. looking for players at all levels, from high school and college to the minor and major leagues, who are undervalued for who are undervalued by others, whether because of a quirk in their playing style or other managers' narrow mindsets. When other managers don't see a player's potential, Bean can swoop in and get him for a bargain. Then he has the discipline and sense of timing to trade a player once he's turned him into a star who's desired by other teams. In choosing players, Bean picks up several new low-cost players with combined talents that roughly equal to that of the player traded. In choosing players, he makes much greater use of sophisticated statistical analysis than other managers, and he looks at different measures. For example, he favors stats such as on base percentage over batting average. Bean believes the ability to get on base even with a walk is a valuable long-term asset, whereas traditional measures such as batting average or base steals may mean nothing over the long haul. Scouting is de-emphasized in Oakland. Other managers sometimes reject a player because he does not look like a major leaguer, but not Bean. If the statistics say an overweight college catcher that nobody else wants should be a number one draft pick, Bean goes for it. One player was signed on without anyone from the A's ever seeing him. Next slide. The new statistical models and sophisticated tools that is using to spot high potential players have been around for years, but they were mostly used by amateur baseball enthusiasts, software engineers, statisticians, Wall Street analysts, lawyers, physics professors, and just run-of-the-mill geeks. Bean looked at the cache of numbers compiled over the years and saw a new vision. The traditional yardstick of success for baseball players are fatally flawed. By thinking differently and paying attention to obscure numbers, Bean has built a highly successful organization and perhaps revolutionized baseball management. Next slide. Strategy is implemented through specific mechanisms, techniques, or tools for directing organizational resources to accomplish strategic goals. This is the basic architecture for how things get done in the organization. Strategy implementation is putting a strategy into action by adjusting various parts of the organization and directing resources to accomplish strategic goals. Next slide. Strong leadership is vital for strategy implementation, as some studies show that up to 70% of all business strategies never get implemented. Trust between leaders and the people that they lead is important, as people that trust their leaders are more supportive of strategy and are more committed to direction. If a leader can create an environment where their followers understand and feel committed to the company's strategic direction, it is necessary. Next slide. An example of leadership-based strategic implementation could be a manager creating a plan that pushes their employees to have better interactions with customers and implementing a protocol for customer service interactions to reduce employee stress. Strategy is also implemented through organizational elements such as structural design, pay or reward systems, budget allocations, and organizational rules, policies, or procedures. Leaders are often responsible for making decisions about changes in structure, systems, policies, and so forth to support the company's strategic direction. Next slide. Lisa Hofbrett, a general manager at Applebee's, implemented a strategy of increased sales by budgeting for newspaper and radio ads, asking customers to help the store break sales records, designing daily incentive-based contests for employees, redesigning employee parking policies to give greater access to customers to park near the store, and making the sales target a mandatory topic on the agenda for every staff meeting. These changes, combined with Hofbrett's inspirational leadership and commitment to taking care of her employees, helped the store meet her ambitious goal of $3 million in sales for that year. An incredible example of strong leadership and strategic implementation. Next slide. Exhibit 13.7 provides a simplified model for how leaders make strategic decisions. The two dimensions considered are whether a particular choice will have high or low strategic impact on the business and whether implementation of the decision will be easy or difficult. A change that both a change that both produces a high strategic impact and is easy to implement would be a leader's first choice for putting strategy into action. Next slide. Low risk, high impact strategic implementation can be described as a decision that has minimal impact on the business's operational structure and format but has high impact on output and results. For example, who you market your business to and the ways that you go about said marketing. Next slide. However, some strategic decisions are much more difficult to implement. For example, pursuing growth through mergers and acquisitions can present difficulties of blending production processes, accounting procedures, corporate cultures, and other aspects of the organizations into an effectively functioning whole. Structural reorganizations such as a shift to horizontal teams or breaking a corporation into several divisions are other example or are another example of high risk decisions. Leaders frequently intake major changes despite the risks and difficulties because the potential strategic payoff is very high. Next slide. Easy implementation with low risk. Another option that some leaders decide to go for are ones with low strategic impact but easy implementation. A solid example of this is incremental improvements in products, work processes, or techniques. These can allow for important effects on the organization over time. These small changes can also symbolize a gradual improvement and success to members of the organization and can improve morale. It can also help people be committed to larger changes and help people to keep their eyes on the long-term visions. A good example of this one is putting small efficiency improvements in place to speed up the achievement of goals and boost spirits. Next slide. Hard to implement and ineffective. This category relates to changes that are both difficult to implement and have low strategic impact. An example of this is a company overhauling its operational structure for shallow reasons like trends and failing, with damage being done to the company and the employees. Effective leaders try to avoid making decisions that fall within this category. Next slide. Good leadership involves everyone, but leaders must set a clear vision and strategy. Without it, organizations struggle. An example is Eastern Mountain Sports, which lost its focus by trying to attract a broader audience instead of serving its core outdoor enthusiasts, causing it to lose customers and identity. CEO Will Manzer worked to refocus the company, emphasizing that without a clear and distinct strategy, EMS would fail to stand out or matter to anyone. Will Manzer displayed a good sense of vision and direction in this case. Next slide. Hopes and dreams for the future are what kept people moving forward, or what keep people moving forward. However, for leaders to make a real difference, they have to link those dreams with strategic actions. Vision has to be translated into specific goals, objectives, and plans so that employees know how to move forward towards the desired future. An old English churchyard saying applies to organizations as it does to life. Life without vision is drudgery. Vision without action is but an empty dream. An action guided by vision is joy and the hope of the earth. Next slide. Exhibit 13.8 illustrates four possibilities of leadership in providing direction. Four types of leaders are described based on their attention to vision and attention to action. The dreamer, top left, is good at providing a big idea with meaning for self and others. This leader may effectively inspire others with a vision, yet he or she is weak on implementing strategic action. The vision, in this case, is only a dream, a fantasy, because it has little chance of ever becoming reality. Bottom left is the uninvolved. The person who is low both on providing vision and stimulating action is uninvolved, not really a leader at all, the worst case in this table. Bottom right is the doer. The leader who is all action and little vision is a doer. He or she may be a hard worker and dedicated to the job and the organization. but the doer is working blind. Without a sense of purpose and direction, activities have no real meaning and do not truly serve the organization, the employees, or the community. And the most favorable uh, type of leader is the effective leader. To be an effective leader, one both dreams big and transforms those dreams into significant strategic action, either through his or her own activities or by hiring other leaders who can effectively implement the vision and strategy. Next slide. Deciding strategic direction. To determine strategic direction for the future, leaders look inward, outward, and forward. Leaders scan both the internal and external organizational environment to identify trends, threats, and opportunities for the organization. Leaders create strategic direction by combining a broad inspiring vision with a concrete plan. They use industry foresight, analyzing trends in technology, demographics, regulations, and values to find the new competitive advantages. Through tools like SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, analyzing, SWOT analysis and Michael Porter's five forces, potential new entrants into an industry, the bargaining power of buyers, the bargaining power of suppliers, and the threat of substitute products and rivalry among competitors. Leaders assess internal strengths and weaknesses, as well as external opportunities and threats, to develop effective and competitive strategies. Next slide. A strong vision needs to be built on facts and analysis, but leaders must also use creativity and intuition. Relying on only logic and data can limit new ideas and prevent innovation. Successful leaders balance rational planning with their personal experiences, emotions, and instincts. For example, when Ted Turner proposed creating a 24-hour news channel in the 1970s, many experts said it would fail. However, he trusted his intuition and noticed social and technological trends that others ignored, leading to the success of CNN. Leaders also look inward, to their own hopes and dreams, and listen to the aspirations of their followers. True foresight comes not just from strategic tools like market research, but from curiosity, imagination, and a deep desire to create something meaningful. A powerful vision connects both the mind and the heart, inspiring people to believe in a shared and hopeful future. Next slide. When leaders link vision and strategy, they can make a real difference for the organization's future. A leader's greatest discretion is often over strategic vision and strategic action. Research has shown that strategic thinking and planning for the future can positively affect a company's performance and financial success. Research shows that strategic leadership plays a major role in an organization's success, accounting for up to 44% of the variation in profitability among major firms. Studies on executive turnover across different types of organizations, including corporations, manufacturing companies, churches, and retail firms, reveal that changes in top leadership often lend to improvements in profits, stock prices, and even organizational participation. This suggests that leaders significantly influence performance beyond economic or industry factors. Next slide. More recent research emphasizes the importance of top leadership teams rather than individual CEOs. A team's composition, its size, diversity, skills, and attitudes can strongly affect communication, collaboration, and overall company performance. In complex environments, no single leader can handle every, every challenge alone. A well-balanced and empowered leadership team is better equipped to develop effective strategies, adapt to change, and build organizational strength through a shared vision and cooperation. Overall, evidence supports that leadership decisions and team dynamics have a powerful impact on organizational outcomes. Next slide. And to conclude, leaders guide organizations by creating a clear vision and strategy. A vision presents an inspiring, credible picture of the future that motivates employees and connects current actions to long-term goals. The mission defines the organization's core values and enduring purpose. While the vision may evolve over time, effective leaders inspire others by framing a meaningful purpose based on discovery, excellence, altruism, and heroism. Strategy turns vision and mission into action through resource planning and structural systems that help achieve goals. Ultimately, strong leadership combines analysis, intuition, and experience to link vision with action, showing that success results from deliberate decisions, not chance. Thank you all for listening. If anyone has any questions, I'll pause for a bit and anyone can bring up anything that they were wondering about. Yeah, also, these are some of our references. Seems that we have no questions. Yeah, well, that will be all for our group.